The Utah Highway Patrol was formed in 1923 and has about 1,000 people in its employ. A little more than half are troopers and a little less than half are civilians. Since its establishment, 14 officers have died in the line of duty. The first was Patrolman Ed Van Wagenen in May 1931. Then Trooper Monty A. Luke in December 1959. Then Trooper George D. Rees in July 1960. Trooper John R. Wynn in September 1971. Trooper William John Antinowitz in December 1974. Agent Robert B. Hutchings in July 1976. Trooper Ray Lynn Pearson in November 1978. Trooper Daniel W. Harris in August 1982. Trooper Joseph Samuel Brumet III in December 1992. Trooper Dennis Lavelle Lund in June 1993. Trooper Charles D. Warren in May 1994. Sergeant Doyle Reed Thorne in July 1994. Trooper Randy K. Ingram in October 1994. And finally, Lieutenant Thomas Sumner Retberg in February 2000. The UHP is tasked with protecting lives, property, and the constitutional rights of the people of Utah. But UHP has found itself involved in a freedom of speech issue over the memorialization of those slain officers. According to Wikipedia, the practice of erecting roadside crosses is centuries old. In the U.S., the practice began with early Hispanic settlers of the Southwest during their funeral processions. The markers also marked trails along which a traveler may have died. In more contemporary times, a roadside cross identifies the scene of a fatal car crash. Many states outlaw roadside memorials in one way or another. In California, only the State Department of Transportation may allow a memorial, and that may only be for those who were victims of drunk driving as part of the state's sobriety campaign. In Delaware, the state has tried to balance family needs with state responsibilities by constructing the 11,000 square foot Delaware Highway Memorial Garden. In New Mexico, Department of Transportation crews undertaking new construction are not required to protect roadside memorials, but usually either avoid altering them or place them as close to where they originally were as possible once construction has been completed as a courtesy. In fact, although the memorials are illegal in almost all 50 states, states tend to avoid disturbing the small personalized markers, which are usually crosses. But the issue is different in Utah. In 1998, 12-foot-high white metal crosses began appearing along Utah roadways. The intention, according to the private Utah Highway Patrol Association, was to memorialize slain officers. Representatives for the association said a cross was selected because the image of a cross can simultaneously convey a message of death, remembrance, honor, gratitude, and sacrifice. The New Jersey-based American Atheists didn't see it that way, though, and in 2005 filed a lawsuit arguing that the then 13 crosses erected by the association violated the separation of church and state. The crosses, which bear the UHP logo and stand on state land, are secular, not religious, say the association. And in 2006, the Utah legislature passed a joint resolution declaring the crosses were a non-religious secular symbol. In 2007, a federal district court judge agreed and ruled that the crosses could remain in place. The issue, however, has not gone away. In August 2010, according to the Associated Press, a 3-judge panel from the 10th Circuit Court ruled that the crosses were indeed religious in nature, noting that the UHP logo would lead a reasonable person to assume that Christianity and Christians were being treated preferentially by the state. Most recently, the Utah Highway Patrol, along with the Utah State Department of Transportation and 2 other state agencies, asked the Federal Appeals Court in Denver to revisit the case. Utah Attorney Brian Bernard, who represents American Atheists, said the group is not opposed to memorials for slain officers. His and the group's intention is for crosses to be removed to private rather than public lands. According to Utah Attorney General Mark Shurtleff, though, no decision has been made on a possible appeal, but that the state could either ask for a review by the full panel of appeals court justices or petition for a hearing before the U.S. Supreme Court.